Serufusa, are you ready to do this?
I was born ready. Let's do this.
Disclaimer, we are non-podcasters.
Are we recording?
Yes, we are. This is all giving disclaimer. We're trying something here. It might work, it might not.
Yeah.
But I think
It has to work.
we'll have fun doing it. Okay.
Yeah.
Serufusa, why do you want to do this podcast? Like, you have such a busy life.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're a full-time worker, a full-time dad.
Yeah.
You have 1 million extracurricular responsibilities. Why are you doing this?
Thanks for reminding me that. It's a question I ask myself every time. But I see two reasons why I'm doing this. One, the opportunity to work with you and with Nil, like to create an amazing an amazing product is just so wonderful. I feel like there's so many lives we can change, we can influence with the work that we do. But then having said that as well, I feel like the second reason I'm doing this is because I feel like this is such a wonderful medium to continue all the work that I'm doing, all the stuff that I'm doing. So me being a father, me being working in a company and other stuff, this is an avenue to create those stories. So I don't feel like I'm adding anything to it. I'm just building on it and finding an avenue to just share out my frustrations, my stories. And what about yourself? Like, why are you doing this?
So,
Why take the risk to work with me?
two reasons.
Yeah.
The first one, so to get to work, I have like 1 hour worth of commute. And so I have become a podcast obsessed person.
Yeah.
From the very weird ones all the way to the most educational one, I've heard them all. And I think I'm coming very close to the podcast that exists all over internet. So I was like, oh, maybe it's time to do one with topics that I enjoy and I would want to listen and talk about. And maybe there's someone who's doing their commute who might enjoy it as well.
Yeah.
That's number one. And number two, I've known Serufusa for a few years now.
Yeah.
So I've known you for a few years. And I think we have the best banter and chit chat at work because I try to sit next to him all the time because he's fun. And I'm like, the world deserves to hear all the wisdom.
This is so risky. Why would you use the word wisdom?
Yeah, so there's
Something.
wisdom to be shared to the world and
Yeah.
an opportunity to hear from people from very different backgrounds
Oh, wow. Yeah.
who've ended up finding some common values that I think we believe and fight for, but also things from different routes we've taken that allowed us to be the best version we could be now and continue to be. So sharing that with the world, it might be just interesting.
I know, and I'm really excited about the guests that we have. I think we have an amazing network of people that you know, that I know, that people who would love to come here, people who will have to drag here to have conversations. But
by force or by love, we're telling you not ahead of time. By love, please. But like,
and so I think it's just be a gift to the world, and I think it's such a pleasure for you and I to be the midwives who are helping deliver all these amazing babies.
And also for our guests, these are people maybe you've never heard about.
Yeah.
Right? We were very fortunate due to the weird and wonderful things we do. We just interacted and found them awesome and having so much value to give. So it's gonna change you from the usual same people that you hear of.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to make them as unique as possible, and they'll have very interesting stories to tell.
Absolutely.
Actually, this brings me back.
Yeah.
Why did we call our podcast Roots, Routes, and Real Talk?
It just says everything about what needs to be said in this world to make a difference. Because one, you need to be connected to your roots. Like, it's so important. Like, identities has never been such an important topic for anyone. Then for you to do that, you need to understand the journey that you've come through, the journey that you are going to. And that's why the root is really important. And real talk is just real.
Oh, yeah.
It's real.
And sometimes we might say dumb things, but it's fun.
You talk about wisdom and then you talk about we say wrong things and you look at me like that.
Just a disclaimer, we are humans, and if we make mistakes, we will learn all together.
Yeah.
And what we're sharing, we will be sharing throughout the episodes, hopefully, is really things we think we know now. But maybe we might have guests or listeners or commenters that will tell us differently, and we're willing to listen and really improve on what we share here with you.
Yeah, so it's going to be a real journey.
Yeah.
It's been a real journey for all of us, Hewan and I, and for Neil, who's working behind the scenes to make this all look amazing, wonderful. I think we hope to take you all on this journey, because I think for us as well, actually, maybe that's another third reason I'm doing this, because it's another way to grow, like just listening to people, talking to people, having conversations is a wonderful way to grow and to really just imbibe taking the wisdom that's been collected from many people's experiences. And for us to do that, it's fantastic.
Absolutely. So until we get the guests, please come. We're going to be doing something special today, which is we're going to be interviewing each other. I feel I know Serufusa well, but today I'm going to try and uncover things I don't know, but at the same time, allow you to know the awesomeness that Serufusa is. And I'm saying this very seriously.
And it's the same thing as well. I'm going to uncover you. I have my chat GPT ready here, like primed to go. What are the most provocative questions to ask Hewan? Prompt.
Nice.
So it went in. So it's got amazing things. So bring it on. Bring it on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do it in 3 parts. We're gonna talk about your roots.
Yeah.
The routes you took.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have some real talk moment.
Yeah.
Does that work for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
So people might not know this, but you actually grew up in Uganda.
Yes.
Right? And then you've been around in a few places in the world. So do you want to share more about your early career and what are the things that you picked up that actually shaped the sense of purpose you have right now and the responsibility toward the health community and the world?
Yeah. Just one. If you ask me tough questions, I'm going to ask you the same tough questions. Like
this is like interview question number 1. Tell me more about yourself.
I don't like that question, right? But
future employer, this is, I don't know.
You're putting me on the spot, but I mean, I'll say the one thing, and the one thing that's taken me through all this time is curiosity, right? And curious and hunger to learn more and to understand more. You talked about growing up in Uganda. I was born in Kenya, so I have that history as well. I went to China and did my medical school there. Then I worked in Uganda again, worked in South Sudan, worked in a number of places. But in everywhere I go, all the things I've done, I think the big thing for my journey has just been about being curious to take influences, being curious to do things different. So when I went to China, I mean, I'm right-handed. I said, I'm going to use chopsticks and learn how to use chopsticks. But if I'm going to learn how to use chopsticks, I'm going to learn how to use chopsticks with my left hand because I'm clumsy either way. And that's what I do. So that's what I've done. And I just wanted to involve the culture, to take things in and learn the language. I learned the Chinese language. I learned about other cultures. And in the same thing in the work that I do now, I've worked in management consultancy. I've worked in a think tank. I now work in a pharmaceutical company. It's all been about just the journey and being curious about trying different things, different roles, different people, talking to even people who sit next to me from Ethiopia who are there for banter and to nudge me. Like, I'm just curious about that. So I think it's about curiosity. That's what I've learned, and that's what's taken me through the journey. What about yourself? Called yourself, previously said like you're on a journey to be a world citizen. I see you as a world citizen. Why did you say you're on a journey to be a world citizen? Talking about Ethiopia, you've been to Rabat, you speak French, you speak French. By the shameless plug, we may have some guests. We may speak French.
Yeah.
We may have guests who speak.
We will have subtitles, but that's fine.
Indeed. Chinese as well is going to come up. Turkish as well might come up. So
Swahili
as well will come up. Yeah, indeed. And so with all that, why do you still describe yourself as being on a journey to be a citizen of the world?
I was very fortunate that I had parents who had huge dreams for me.
Yeah.
From the beginning, they never put any boxes I should be fitting or places I should be staying at. They were like, the world is so huge. Yes, you're an Ethiopian. Yes, your roots are very strongly and firmly rooted in who you are. But it doesn't mean that's what you need to be your whole life. You need to branch out. You need to grow as a tree. You need to have multiple leaves. And so that's the philosophy of life I have. Whenever I'm told, oh, what's your journey to where you got here? I always draw a tree. because I'm firmly grounded, but like that tree has been growing with like so many leaves, and the leaves are the people I'm meeting, the cultures I'm discovering. And I mean, I stopped counting, but there are countries in the world that I get to discover and learn from, and millions and billions of people to meet. So that's going to continue. And so this is just the beginning, I think.
Amazing. Amazing. And when you think of Ethiopia and you think of the journey you've been on, you've talked about a tree like representing that, but is there a song or a ritual or a food that really brings it home to you about what your journey has been so far?
Oh my God. I would say more than a thing, it's a feeling. My ritual is I always anchor myself in people.
Yeah.
One thing I've learned is that yes, we're from different origins. Yes, we have different backgrounds, but our humanity, the things that make us who we are, that differentiates us from other species, is so common. That allows me to see the positive in people a lot, because that's what grounds me. That's what I was able to find every place I went. Amazing humans.
Wow.
And that's what gives me energy and passion in life.
I feel like we are the United Nations.
Yeah.
That was such a funny start. When we talked about wisdom, some of us sharing wisdom. So, like that was definitely wisdom.
Grandma level. But back to you, Serufusa.
Yeah, always about me.
Well,
yeah.
Always.
Always.
I mean, that's my life every day. That's right.
It's about me.
So tell me, what are the rituals? What's that song, that music, that food that anchors you back to your roots?
See, like, this is the problem. Like, I asked you that question and you gave a very clever answer. And now I don't have a
You can give a non-clever answer. No one's judging. No one's listening, right?
So I'd say for me, and I've said this before, like, for me, it's about the food that gives me comfort is beans.
Beans?
Something about beans that just...
On toast?
Beans.
My wonderful British listeners, I support beans on toast. Don't cancel me.
I know we need those sponsors. You can't be alienating sponsors. You know that, like Heinz beans and other beans. Like you've got to.
We love beans.
Share the love. Yes, we love beans. Like so, when you talk about pinto beans, when I talk about like baloti beans in Uganda, beans are an important part of culture. I love beans because they're like it's can be vegetarian and can have beans. It's a massive source of carbohydrates, massive source of proteins. It's a comfort food. Beans, you can have like French beans, you can have all sorts of beans. So for me, it's about beans. Like, okay. Can we make sure we edit that to make it look intelligent? Like, because I was not prepared for such depth. Like, you came in with like a United Nations like, script written, like,
but I have
polished
to say,
answer, and I just talked about my food and beans. Like,
but that's the thing, right? The taste of that food takes you back to who you are.
Oh, thanks for making it clever.
Right?
Yes. We got like let's go on. Please go on. Like,
it's like. There's this French writer called Proust.
Yeah.
And for French speakers, they might know about the Madeleine that I think he ate while he was a child.
Yeah.
So throughout his life, whenever he's eating that Madeleine, that piece of cake, he just remembers that time. So, okay, we make it philosophical here.
I am the Ugandan Proust. Like, okay. I'm the philosopher. Beans is what makes it real. Good.
We love it.
Yeah.
Okay, I have another one for you.
Yeah.
Still in the roots section, because I know it might not look when looking like this, sitting and chilling with me, but Serufusa is a medical doctor who studied in China to become a physician. And then along the way, he decided to do like a huge transformation of his path. So tell me more about it. What made you take that decision?
Yeah.
And what... from that moment, do you still use to influence the way you lead?
You know what? I feel like I've always been the same thing, because for me, it's about, and I'll give a very corporate answer here, but it's
everybody has their turns. We are very corporate citizens.
Yeah, no. I'll give my corporate answer, which is, I feel like it's always been about the transferable skills. Like, if you think about it closely, like the things that make you love the doctor that you loved, in that one very moment, that doctor made you feel like you are the only patient they have in the world, that they remember everything about you, they care about you, and they're there to make you feel better. They're rooting for you, and they're there to make things work for you. It's the same thing that took me to become a management consultant, because you have to make every client feel like they are the only client in the world, like you're rooting for them, that you're working on their problem. You have all these depths of knowledge, but that is shaped to make them successful. And it's the same thing about being a leader in a corporate environment, right? It's about like the people. It's about making people seen and make people feel like they're heard and make sure they're valued, because you're trying to really get the best outcomes for them and for society. So in a way, while I've changed the titles from being a doctor to neurosurgery to management consultancy to work in a corporate environment, but day in, day out, I feel like I'm doing exactly the same thing. And the one thread for me has been I work in a science-based company, in a culture like that. So it's about the science. And so I'm loving that.
And listeners, this is the guy I get to sit down every day next to and roast and banter. And he's a serious man of the world. Imagine that.
Wow. Wow.
So thank you so much for sharing, Serufusa. And we do see it in the way you present yourself to the world and the projects you're involved in. So hopefully, as you continue listening, you'll learn way more from this wisdom. Back to that big word again.
Indeed. And for yourself, I mean, what's been your journey through all those cultures and countries and experiences? And now you're doing marketing, you're doing all the amazing things in terms of just driving inclusion and championing voices of people in these environments, especially women. Like, what's kept you going?
Yeah, so I'm a science girly too. By the way, I know it doesn't look like it, but I'm a nerd, still a nerd. I admit it on record.
Yeah.
Proud to be a nerd. So I'm a science girly, did pharma all the way, and I thought I was going to be working in labs to discover the future medicines and cures that will help patients. I realized maybe that's not the thing for me, but I found even a better way and funner way where I get to use my innate talents, where I get to work with so many people across the world, and most importantly, where I get to have impact at a very large scale. So that has always been very important to me. And the best part of that was the roles that I was doing made me become a marketing girly now. But marketing girly, that still refers back to her science background and still needs to have that knowledge. That also allowed me to meet people from different places and realize that we are really not all equal in the things and opportunities that we get.
Indeed.
And yet you have all these brilliant people, right, in the workplace, people who are not there yet, who are trying to get in. And we don't always get the same privilege to access these roles. I was very fortunate that I got mentors, sponsors who are backing me up every step of the way. So at some point I was like, oh, we are running out of sponsors and mentors. I think I should be part of the change that I want to see in the world as well. And so that's why I've been like very focused on trying to help as much as I can to create a more inclusive world where equity is a given. And I found it easier to do, obviously, because I'm a woman first with the women that were coming into the corporate environment.
Yeah.
And that was really sharing my experience, opening up doors where I could see doors being possibly open. And sometimes it's just kindness and helping someone think through what they want to do with their lives and be there throughout their journey to nicely nudge.
And I've seen that firsthand. Like, you do that in a brilliant way. You do it in a way that I think you give back with so much passion, with so much, you give everything for that. And I've seen you do that. And in there are moments where I've seen you like really stand up and be magnanimous, generous with your time, with your energy, with your emotions even. And it's just incredible to see that in action. So
I am
well
not
done.
used to all these nice things.
I
am shocked.
I don't usually. Yes.
Thank God this is recorded.
Someone paid me.
And Nil is in the room. You saw this? Well, thank you, Serufusa.
Indeed.
So I think that finishes and concludes our roots part of our discussion so far. Shall we go to routes?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
All right, so now we're going to be talking about routes, And I think this is where it starts getting interested, because before it was maybe boring for you. You're like, what are these two randos? But we needed it to prove to you that we did experience life a little bit, some people more than others.
We earned our seat, yes.
We earned our seat on this table.
Yeah.
We are now the sisters and brothers that you need in your life, we think.
Truth.
We still have a lot to go, and we have elder brothers and elder sisters that are guiding us. But hopefully, in this section and the Real Talk section, we would be sharing some things from our journeys that hopefully would help you as well. And we will continue listening to you to incorporate things and items we could maybe clarify more on or share our experiences.
Indeed, which is why it's so important to get your feedback. So send them in, send in those likes, send out those thumbs down if you have any.
I am a people pleaser. Any thumbs down would break my heart. I will take it personally. Thumbs down just for Serufusa.
Yeah, no, I know them, man. Those can be kept in my bank. And send any questions or any suggestions for guests, because I think we really want to bring it out. So there's a lot that can be shared.
Yeah, and we are so charming. We'll make people say yes. So just let us know.
We'll have to.
I say that with the confidence level. So my first, that's what our producer Neil is telling us to do.
No.
Snap.
She's making it happen in the background. So
absolutely,
we wouldn't be here without her. And it's because of examples of people like Nil, our producer, and others who really, we are standing on the shoulders of giants, right?
Okay, routes. What was one route you took at some point and it felt like a huge detour and it felt so wrong? It turned out to be crucial and actually very important to who you are today.
Yeah. I mean, if there's one, I would say it's probably my journey to China. Not that it felt wrong, but I was just not sure about that. This is someone who had never been on a plane. I was around 17. I'd never left the continent of Africa. And I was so hell-bent on going to China to experience the culture, to immerse myself and to understand. So I had no idea what I was getting into. And we just $100 with 2 trousers, 2 shirts, got on a plane and went to China and said, I'm going to make it there. And it was just the most transformative experience that I've had in my life, because it was just to immerse yourself in a culture where I had to learn the language, I had to learn the culture itself. I had to do that in a pressurized environment where I'm studying for exams and trying to make friends. And for a lot of us, regardless of wherever you are, university or college is usually the biggest change in your life. It defines you a lot. And for me to have that in China was just a huge rubber stamp that changed me forever. And that's why I always feel like China is a second home to me. And I go back there so many times. I was there last year with the family, and also it just feels like this is the place to be. So for me, it was a detour or a part of the journey that I wasn't expecting to be as amazing, but I took a leap of faith and I said, I'm going to trust the process and I'll learn right. And it's been fantastic.
Oh, I love that for you. And I see that influence as well in the way you embark on things now, because you took that big leap of faith. Now you're like, oh, try this role. And I see you just going straight at it. There's no fear. In case people don't know, Serufusa is also a rapper, very renowned, multi-award winner. And he's the award of Neil and I gave him a best award in this place.
No.
So I've seen you do that in so many aspects of your life.
Yeah.
And hopefully this encourages our listeners as well. Sometimes it just looks weird, right?
Indeed. And for yourself, I mean, in terms of your journey, are there any parts of it that you think were unexpected? Any regrets when you look back in retrospect, or any parts that you feel like, gosh, this was the best decision I ever made and changed the trajectory of my life, my experience?
I don't want to repeat the idea, but even going to Morocco for me was out of the blue.
Yeah.
Did
you speak French at the time?
Yes, at least I spoke French.
Good.
I went to a great school. Shout out to Lycée Gabriel Mariam, where I learned how to speak French and understand and be able to study in French. But it was more, for an Ethiopian, it was not a common place to go for studies. And it was a series of unfortunate events, one would call it. But the 8 years I then spent in Morocco, and we can come back in the future episodes as well, have been completely life transforming. From really discovering myself to what my innate talents are, to making families, to really having this confidence that is unbelievable. I got it just because I went there. But I said I won't repeat your example of going to a new place. I will say another example. The route I took that completely surprised me. So coming here to the UK in London was not initially part of my plan.
Wow.
Because initially I had decided that I was going to do a career outside of all the typical countries that people would want to go to. Because I wanted to prove to myself that sometimes it's just about you coming in with the best intentions, and then you can have an amazing life in different parts of the world. So you shouldn't be fighting to come to those like landmark countries that everybody is dreaming.
Yeah.
And so that's why I've always like tried to go to other places, but life made it happen. A wonderful role in a wonderful team opened up. And also it was really convenient for me to come here. And that was 4 years ago. And I have no regret, obviously. I mean, I feel very fortunate to be here. The freedom, the ability to become the best version of myself I could be is not something I take for granted. But the most important part was I met people who even elevated my way of thinking, who showed me that the dreams I had for myself were actually very limited.
Yeah.
And they challenged me of why I was aiming so low. And I thought I was aiming crazy. I thought I had crazy dreams. And they're like, oh, but you'll get there in like 5 years. And it literally happened. Unbelievable. Like that was the transformation. So yeah, sometimes you make plans, but then it's like these detours that take you to the next level. And hopefully you can take people along the way.
Preach. I mean, you've eloquently said, and I've been lucky to be part of that journey. And once again, I'm being paid to be nice. So I have to say this because it's great for our sponsors and for our fans. But I think I've seen you on that journey, and I think it's been a wonderful transformation. And I think the way you approach it with such grace, with such energy, I think is just incredible. And I've seen you deal with certainty and uncertainty. I've seen you deal with success and not so much where you've not felt you've been as successful as you wanted to be, with so much grace and passion. And that's a lot to take care of.
I don't think I can afford the fees. I think let's stop all this. It's becoming too expensive for me. But thank you so much. And actually, speaking of like certainty and uncertainty moments, I've also seen you handle those, because one of the roles you're doing now is chief of staff in a very big company, to a very senior staff member for a very big organization. And that's not an easy one to handle as a day-to-day execution.
Yeah.
But like, what are the tensions you routinely manage, and how do you go through them and survive and thrive? Actually, I might even go till there.
Yeah, and I feel like all of us deal with this. And the one thing I'm still learning, and the super strength I want to build, is being able to adapt my leadership style, adapt my style to adapt to any and all kinds of situations and people, but still maintaining your true identity and your true self. Like, so what I try to do is, whether I'm dealing with the person who's changing all the coffee machines, I want to show up with them and adapt and be able to have a conversation with them and understand what they need, what they're doing, and how it works for them, and still be Serufusa.
Yeah.
And it's the same conversation I want to have with our CEO, the same conversation I want to have with the chair of the board of directors or any other leader, so that I can rock up and adapt my style to get the best out of them, to make them the best they can be, but still be Serufusa. So
love it.
That for me is what I go for.
And I have to admit, that's how I met Serufusa. Like, I randomly met him in the staircases at some point. I don't even know how the conversation started. And I just felt, oh, he sees me as a full equal peer that he's just curious to discover more about. And so this is facts. It's not lie. It's not By the way, I wanna like submit a complaint. There are days now where I get ignored. Who should I address these complaints? I have
Yeah.
many.
Yeah.
Neil, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell the fans.
I tell the fans.
Tell the fans.
Please
Tell the
take
fans.
note. I get ignored. I will report back how
Yeah.
that goes.
Yeah.
I hope you're gonna hold him accountable to not ignore me anymore.
Indeed. Yeah.
But yeah, I love that. Like
Yeah.
these tensions that you routinely manage that make you stronger is it's really appearing as the authentic self you are, and like treating everybody the same way, and having the conversations that actually allow you to get out of these tension moments.
Amazing. And for you, to ask you, is there a chapter that you would rewrite?
Ooh. I'm always afraid of that question, because rewriting means I won't be who I am now. Because, you know, just like in movies or series, they say, oh, if you hadn't done, like, is it the closing door principle?
Yeah.
If I hadn't missed that bus, what would have happened? So I'm always very careful on that. But if there is something I would like to rewrite, is I thought at some point of my life it was important to follow checklists. Like, in order for me to go do this thing, this role, achieve that kind of experience, I needed to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things, which might take double time to get it. Because maybe sometimes it's someone who told you that has reached that step, that space where you wanted to be, because they took 20 steps. Or it might be sometimes just internal things that happen, and people decide, oh, for this person to be able to achieve this role, they need to have done all of this.
Tick box.
And I did spend at some point a lot of time trying to achieve that. But then I realized that I don't like to admit this, but there are things I'm not good at, unfortunately. I'm very mad that this is recorded.
That.
Oh, Serufusa.
Truth, real talk.
And I spent so much time trying to correct the things I was the worst at.
Yeah.
And then I just ended up being mediocre or good.
Yeah, isn't that? Yeah, it's a bit. Yeah. I mean, it's so tough. Like, people spend so much time trying to, and I think there is something to be said about self-improvement, right?
Always.
And obviously, there's work that you have to do with yourself, but if also people spend as much time working on their strengths and really trying to polish the diamond that you have, and strengthening those that you have, especially in the work environment, we'd all get so far.
And there are some people who are really good at the things you are terrible at.
Yeah.
So it's about, how do you find those people who complement you, either as peers, or if you're having teams, as people in your team, or even it's like in another side of the organization. How could you like support each other? Because then you'd bring something else they hate doing. Like, I like to think like I'm an extrovert who enjoys people's company. I'm happy to do the things that require that. But then there are other things maybe that are like building like 10,000 pages Excel and connecting it and putting macros, that I'm not very good at. I try, but I'm not. I mean, who is very good at Excel? I don't know. My finance colleagues maybe, but I'll let them do that. And then I'll go get the information they need, so that becomes really good. So I just gave a dumb example now, but it applies from the simplest thing to the biggest things. And I wish I hadn't spent so much time just to improve everything. There are things we need to have as general improvement to be able to do the basics, but then find the people who will help me. I think I would have been even faster.
And that's what I always tell people, like, it's just #do you, like, just do you, be yourself.
But then that comes with a responsibility, I think. I am a bit delusional sometimes, which is great.
Just a bit?
Just a tiny bit.
So you're a big dreamer. Like, you make things happen. Like, think big.
Think big.
I trust you to do that. Yeah.
Thank you. Delusional. But we need to be careful as well. It does, like, if there is something that we are super passionate about, and for that thing there's need a specific expertise, we need to go get the training we need. So that's the disclaimer I want to add. But if I'm willing to sacrifice to not be maybe the very best in that field, but become good with other skills that I have, then that's okay. Just a disclaimer. So if it's something very regulated with law and you need a certification, go do that.
Yeah.
It's my disclaimer.
Gosh, I feel like we're getting gems of career advice here.
Boom,
Like
boom,
you should
boom.
write a book about that. So, or
One
maybe you've
day.
written a book. Like I don't
Not
have.
yet.
Have you written a book?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Because
Good.
I feel all the advices in the world have already been given.
Yeah, but they're
I
not.
think we finished all the advices. Like if you read, you would find, and now with chat AI and all these tools, I just feel like we don't need.
Yeah, but it's all not been said in a podcast. That's why
Sorry. Yeah.
That's why everyone has to listen to the podcast. You really get these gems of wisdom that are packaged in this like amazing sort of Ethiopian, sort of Ugandan, sort of Kenyan stroke, Chinese stroke, Moroccan stroke,
Turkish
stroke, British stroke, American stroke, whatever, like package.
We'll try to make it interesting for you because that's the issue, right? We're at a time where there's so much data.
Yeah.
So, but you can't understand or analyze or review all of it.
Yeah.
So maybe we could make it simpler for you through our sometimes simplistic view of the world, so that you can go and discover a bit more on the topics. Yeah.
I think so.
Amazing. I think we're done with the routes part, right?
Good, indeed.
Part 3, real talk.
Real talk.
I feel we've done some of that, but we can go deeper. One thing we're going to be committing is really ask a bit of the conversations people might not talk about because they feel, oh, first I suffered, so let other people suffer and discover it. Some others would think, oh, if I say this, then it's going to be on record and then it can be used against me at some point. And some others just don't even realize it's important to say it because maybe it might give the confidence for someone else to learn from that and either not do the thing, or if they did the thing, realize, oh, you survive out of things. So that's why real talk is important. Huh?
Yeah, but it sounded like you're reading the Miranda rights in the US, where they're like, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against in a court of law. You have the right to have an attorney. If you cannot afford one, the state will provide you with one. You have the right.
And this day and age,
I don't massive disclaimer. Like, we just need to put it here, like disclaimer.
like take it easy on us, please.
Okay.
We don't know what we're doing, so
good.
I'm trying to put the guardrails. So my first question for you, and it's gonna be direct. What's a failure you faced that made you more resilient?
Failure faced that. I feel like I deal with that every day, all the time. Like from feedback that I get from my kids, feedback I get from feedback that I get from people like you all the time. Like
never. He's the best.
That. But I think if I was to crystallize that into like one thing, I was not myself soon enough. And I wish in growing up, but also in my corporate career, that I really embraced myself and really grounded, because we talk about like roots. Like if I was grounded in that and not trying to be different or not trying to be someone else or something else, I wish I'd done that sooner. And that would have set me up for success, because then I would be really clear. The thing we just talked about, like being very clear about what I'm really strong at and being really clear about the value I bring to certain conversations, certain things, and also being very clear to myself about like, actually, this is not for me. So I wish I'd done that much sooner.
Love that.
Yeah.
Start early, right? Figuring out who you are.
Do
you?
And for yourself, I want like, if talking about real talk, like with the experiences you've had, with the people you've worked with the entities you've worked for, what's one truth that you believe that you think most people would disagree with? And it can be personal or private. And I'm asking this question because I was listening to talking about podcasts. I was listening to Barack Obama speak the other day, and he said something that resonated with me, which I thought, like, that's so true. He said that past a certain age of 5, you should not have ketchup. And I was like,
that's divisive.
No, but that's a truth that I think most people disagree with. But I fully, wholeheartedly agree with. Like, I just don't understand why people have ketchup. And once again, I mean, obviously we need our sponsors and
Haynes,
but,
if you want to sponsor us, I love ketchup.
but
I can bring one from the fridge to prove this.
I'm just quoting Barack Obama here. Like, and so for me, that's one truth that I think I hold true, which I think most people disagree with.
I'm actually grateful you gave me time with your ketchup story. Like, how do you not like ketchup? It's for everybody. Your producer doesn't like ketchup as well. I cannot. Like, I'm giving up on this. But it's good because actually it brought something. Because I was having a debate about this very recently. People think networking is this ugly thing that you like. I hate talking to people. I hate small talk. Just doing this just feels so unnatural and like fake and it's a big misconception I think people have in their minds. For me, networking has been game changer. The only thing though is I think we gave networking a bad name because I think there were too many people trying to teach you how to network. You need to spend 10 minutes talking about this and then you do this and then you do this and then you give this and then you fall.
It's not fun.
It just becomes work again.
Yeah.
I am a social person. I grew up in a community where people were in each other's lives. I still live in a community where I'm in everybody's life and they're in my life. And so living with people is something I think as a society, as a human race that we value.
Yeah.
And I think networking is not a new thing. It's just about being able to understand other people, empathize with them, try to see what they need, try to provide that for them. And then one day you will need something because I am not afraid to ask for help when I'm in trouble and they'll come back to you. That's why communities get formed.
Yeah.
In Ethiopia, we have this thing where everybody every month puts some money because maybe one day you'll need that money to be able to support each other. Yeah, we have. It's a very big thing. But what happens is as you're also putting this money, you're meeting every month as well. And it goes to different people's houses. Yeah. And you're talking, you're eating, you're drinking, you're like having the best conversations. But what that creates is you know about each other's life. And past that, like that thing, you are there for each other every step of the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for me, it's the same thing, how I network. I try to create authentic, genuine human connections. And then if we can help each other, that's great.
Yeah.
If not, it's been great knowing you and you're a friend for life now. And that's how I approach it. And so I make it so organic. I don't think there's a book to be written about it.
Yeah.
It's just like be nice, be gentle.
I love that. I love. And I had no idea you have that in Ethiopia too. Because in Kenya we call them a chama. Like it's almost like a chama, which is almost like the version of is it a community or is it like a council or something where you all come together to pull money a lot to help each other. And it's the same thing. I mean, it's a big thing in Kenya. There's a small version of that, like in Uganda as well, but mostly with women's groups. But having said that, I mean, in all the WhatsApp groups that I'm part of, there's always someone fundraising for something from home. So I think that big part of community, and it's about the human connection that you're saying. That's what networking is about. And the one thing I want to add to that is, in my case, whenever, because being an introvert, it takes a lot out of me. So I know you're an extrovert, but
it's not my problem.
I mean, as an introvert, it takes a lot of energy for me to get ready for the networking and also to get out of it. But I think I found it easier when it's really about me. Like I talk about the work that I'm doing. It's easier to network while I'm talking about stuff that I've done and the value that it's brought, that it's done. But I'm very keen to hear and understand how I can help others to be better at what they're doing and how they're doing it. So there's almost that connection. So I'm not just talking about myself, but there's that interaction and conversation. And that's what networking, I think, seems to work for me. And if I feel like I can't do it, I just don't do it. So once again, I talked about being yourself and knowing your strengths. So sometimes I'm for it, sometimes I'm not.
And it's about knowing how then you recharge.
Yeah.
right? Okay, you've just spent all these hours with people and you're like, I'm exhausted. So what do? What's the thing that you go home and do without other people that you do back home in your corner, in your studio, recording your raps? Plug, shameless
Indeed.
plugs. In case you haven't heard Serufusa's raps, go check them out. We'll put links in the description.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so yeah, it's about finding your rituals that allow you to center and come back with full energy, right?
Indeed, indeed, indeed.
Okay. I have a last question for
Yes.
you because I think we could speak for 12 hours nonstop if Neil lets us. But she's telling us, guys, like, I have places to be. I am young. I have activities. I cannot be hanging out with you. So the last one I have for you, and
I think I have one for you as well.
Okay.
Am I allowed to ask questions?
One. We are,
Oh, yeah,
one.
Good.
We are allowed. And then
just thought I was on the spot, like just me.
A cool one as well. We'll ask you a cool one. So let's say
mine may not necessarily be a cool one, but
okay,
it's gonna be deep and profound.
Woo! We love that. What's the one thing you're still figuring out even now?
The one thing. There's so many things I'm trying to figure out, but I'm still trying to figure myself out. I still have dreams about what I want to be when I grow up. I still have dreams about.
You've done a lot of growing up.
Apparently not enough, according to all the feedback I get. But it's just figuring myself out, figuring what's things like I always felt like I had to be the best version of myself. Now, like I'm very happy to be all versions of myself, whatever that is. Figuring myself out about what brings my energy or not, how I work well with people or not, how I bring the best out of my kids or not. Still figuring it out because I think it's part of a journey and goes back to what I said earlier. I'm just not. I think I'm curious about how I can be a better being, a better worker, better father, better partner, and for me it's just keep on going with that. And there's so much that I have to learn, so much that I have to bring in, so much AI that I'm still trying to figure out, so much music I'm trying to understand, so much culture I'm trying to understand. So I feel like I'm not done yet. Like I'm still working my way up, you know. So when I grow up, yeah, I'll figure out. But until then, it's part of a journey.
You've heard it here first. Serufusa is still growing up.
Yeah.
And eventually we'll find out together as we navigate.
Indeed.
What Serufusa is going to become.
Indeed. What about yourself? Like, what would you say?
The one thing I'm still figuring out. So basically, I have decided for now that one of the biggest things I want to accomplish in my life is finding out ways of launching innovative medicines at all parts of the world at the same time. I think it's the biggest challenge that most people have been looking at for years. Nobody has found the business model. I'm figuring that out.
Good.
And I don't know how I will achieve it. It's again one of those delulu things. Neil taught me that word, by the way. But yeah, like I want to figure that out. And I think it's going to be the way I'm going to be creating positive impact in people's lives.
Yeah. Deep. I think it's a journey. Can't wait to see how that goes. Like
I'm gonna patent it when I figure it out.
It's going to be a big journey. And maybe to one last question from me is I'm trying to understand your thought process, like how you take things, influences, and how you pivot and how you change. But one question is, when was the last time you changed your decision about something important? Or you changed your mind about something that you think was important?
I thought that we were home clear free and I was gonna.
I'm hoping you don't say something like, I've changed my mind about working with Serufusa.
Never. And he is stuck with me. So is Neil, our producer. This is a long term thing. So it's in French they say CDI. It's like a contract with like that does not finish till the end of.
Wow. And in Chinese they say Yong Yuan Do Shi, which is like forever.
Yeah, we started. We're not stopping there. So. One thing I've changed my mind about recently, it's actually related to the kind of roles I was going to be doing. I had this very clear picture in my head. This is the thing I'm going to be doing next. And through a conversation with someone, they convinced me that actually I was being very stubborn.
Wow.
I do feel I'm a natural leader in the sense of I inspire people to do things in the most healthy way, because I present it as a collaborative thing that we try to do. But I never actually liked to have like 200 people reporting to me, and that was never my ambition. My ambition was to be on the side and like trying to help people, maybe have like 1 or 2 people in a team and we help other people. And they were like, but you say you have a very easy leadership style that empowers other people, then 200 people will miss out on this if you think that's a good thing. And it was very annoying to understand that I could be wrong on things, but that challenge was really good. And I was like, yeah, I could try it. Like I could build the muscles towards that. I don't need to be dropped into an ocean and try to figure it out, but it's something I could try. Like, why limit the possibility of helping people be the very best they can be and help achieve this big ambition that I have of finding ways to get medicine and innovations all over the world.
Whoever that person is that convinced you, like you should give them, I should get their number, because I've been trying to convince you of change your mind about some things. But like, for example, I've tried to back out of this podcast so many times, but look where we are now. Like, so, but I mean, that's deep, that's profound, and look forward to hearing how the journey goes and the change you make, the impact that you want to have.
I realized nothing is that deep.
Yeah.
So we can't take things like it is written, so it has to be that. So I think as to we will pivot, we will make this the best thing that could help people. But before we close, Serufusa, I have a very important question for you.
Shoot.
What has been the soundtrack of your life so far?
Ooh, soundtrack of my life. I'm assuming it has to be a song. This is going to sound very, well, not cheesy, but takes me back to, for some reason, I've been listening to, I love rap music. Yeah. One of my favorite artists is Jay-Z.
Yeah.
But I was going back to 2008 when Barack Obama was first elected into the White House, and there's this rapper called Young Jeezy. He came up with this song, My President is Black. And then in January 2009, Jay-Z decided to jump onto the song and make a remix, as you do, like there's always a remix.
Rappers being rappers.
And then he came up with this verse, which I've quoted a bit, but he kept on saying that that Rosa Parks sat so that Martin Luther King could walk, and Martin Luther King walked so that Barack Obama could run. And my addition to that is Barack Obama could run so that I can fly. And the reason why I fly is so that I can be a rocket and just take the next generation, other people into the sky, to the moon. And so I'm that rocket that is flying. So for me, that song, My President, is such an amazing soundtrack for me. And that's what brings to me now.
Oh my God, that was such a good answer. 10 out of 10.
And
we are part of the rocket.
Absolutely.
To the Mars, right?
And yours, what's your soundtrack?
Honestly, I think I'm gonna ruin this because after that deep answer, it can't just be this.
No,
so
feel
I'm
free
gonna
to
make
it. Look at your Spotify.
Literally, I'm opening Spotify as we speak, and apparently I can ask my DJ what's the song I play that can be the soundtrack of my life.
Wow.
So we're gonna ask him. And disclaimer, I don't know what it's going to say.
Cool.
So it's going to change from the depth we heard about of self-reflection to AI judging me. Let's go. Hey, DJ, what's the soundtrack of my life?
Your life soundtrack? That's deep. Let me see what I can come up with. All right, here's your life soundtrack. Start with Beyonce.
Yeah. Texas Hold'em? I love that. So I am a Beyonce fan through and through. So obviously it had to be Beyonce, but Texas Hold'em.
Perfect.
Yeah, fun.
And the two of them are together, So,
right. Like
so
chill.
worked out.
And it's one of her best albums.
Indeed.
Very controversial for people out there in my mind. So I'm very glad that's the soundtrack of my life.
Ah, amazing.
So I think we need to let Nil go be young and have fun and not hang with old people.
Indeed.
Do you agree?
No. I'm still young.
Oh, sorry. Serufusa is still growing up.
Still growing up.
So, yeah. So what should people expect Serufusa moving forward from us?
I think expect this lots of growing up, lots of guests come through, lots of deep conversation, and it's going to be a journey. So looking forward to the feedback, and feedback both positive and negative. And also,
but the negatives are for Serufusa.
That's absolutely just
let's be very clear. I don't do that very well.
I love how you do you. You know exactly what you are. Exactly.
I need it to be given to me like in drops, like hidden.
Absolutely. And so, and anything to add to that? Like anything that...
Yeah, I mean, the title says it all, right? It's Roots, Routes, and Real Talk. Yeah. And we're going to try and be as faithful to that title as possible. We're going to bring you really nice stories from all over the world of inspiring people. And hopefully you learn something out of it. And this is for people who are like us, living in countries that are not their own, or people living in countries that are their own but feel they still haven't found their place, and we'll figure it out together. Or you're just at the beginning of your journey, you're just a uni student trying to understand this place. We'll just try to share whatever we learned. Some things will be for you, some things not, but hopefully you'll get to laugh with us and consider us as your bro and sis.
You've listened to Roots, Routes, and Real Talk,